Okay, so I've quartered up the apples. You literally leave the peel on, leave the core inside of it. Remove any of like the super bad spots that you don't want in your applesauce. But I just cut them up and put them in a pan. A little less than half-ish full of water. Can y'all see the water in there? And then I'm just going to cook them till they're soft. And then I'll run all of this through my juicer, squeezo juicer thingy. And that will be how I get my applesauce. These are golden delicious apples. Use whatever kind you want. Use however many varieties you want. It's just based on your taste. Okay, as you can see, these apples are definitely soft and squishy. Run right through my sieve thing there. And then I've got the Waterbath canner going. See, it's starting to get a little bubbly there. That way it's hot, because these is hot. They'll go into the jars. They'll go into the hot canner. So, with this, I'm going to take them in now, get them dumped, and run them right through my juicer thingy. Okay, so the apples is just going on the top of this here thing. Applesauce, buddy. Yeah, applesauce. Okay, so anyhow, you can see I'm just spinning this thing here around, just like I did tomato juices or anything else. And applesauce is being made. And I don't need to do nothing else with it because, well, it just comes right out these little holes. It's hot. As applesauce. You can add sugar and stuff to it if you want, but honestly, these apples are sweet enough, and that's why I don't add any sugar or cinnamon or anything like that unless we open it and then we decide, you know, we want to add it then. But any other time, this is just straight applesauce that we can. So I'm going to run all these apples through here that we done, and I'll get them jarred up and we'll get them in the canner. Okay, so you can see the applesauce here is all done, and it's just applesauce. I mean, it's literally apples only is all I'm canning with it. No sugar, no cinnamon, no salt, none of that stuff. So this is, and it's just pureed up real nice coming out that there sieve thingy. So if you use the bigger hole, it'd be kind of chunky. So, you know, you just make it the consistency and texture that you want by your pureeing and feed processing or whatever. But that's it there. Okay, so the applesauce is done that was there. And I got my funnel, put it on top of my jar here. This just helps keeps from making a mess and getting all your stuff in the jar. And since I use one of these here fancy china bowls of ice cream bucket, I'm just going to dump it because it's easy. And then that is it there. I fill it to a 1/2 inch of headspace. Headspace is the space you leave at the top of the jar. And if you look at the jars here, okay, so you can see hold on, let me get this up closer. You got to see the ring here on this jar. This goes around it. This is a 1/4 inch. You get down through here, it's about a 1/2 inch. When you get down to the bottom of it, you're at about 1 inch. So down around here is 1 inch. So about halfway of the jar is your 1/2 inch headspace. So that's pretty close right there with that. Fill up all your jars and then wipe your rims. You have to wipe your rims. If you do not, anything that was on the top of it is a debris, and that can get in the way of your seal. And so you need to wipe it good. Just wipe it around. You can use a wet towel. You can use vinegar on your towel, your rag, or whatever you got going. I just generally use a dry paper towel only because, you know, I use that funnel so it don't really make a mess none. And then put your lids. These are regular mouth jars. Regular mouth lids, flats, whatever you want to call them. It just goes on here, and you get your band, finger tight just right, and you just put that on there, and it's ready to go down into the canner. So let me finish filling up these 2 or so more, and we'll get them in the canner. Okay, so I got the applesauce out here. I'm doing the canning outside because, well, it's hot. And so I place it here on this rack. I'll show it to you in just a second here. Anyhow, it's up on a rack. 7 quarts will fill the canner, or 7 jars will fill the canner. I only had 4, so 4 it is. So I put them on the rack here, and I'll drop these down into the water. The water has to be over the lids to make it be safe from the canning process and all that stuff. And once the water is at a rolling boil, I'll start the timer for 5 minutes. So let me get these down in the water here. Okay, and if you can see from the reflection and stuff, the water is over the lids. I'm not going to touch it because it's really hot. Anyhow, I'll put the lid back on, and then I'll pay attention to it be a rolling boil, set my timer 5 minutes, and then I'll pull them out of the canner. Okay, so with that, you've got your jar lifter. When I take those out, this is what it looks like here. Opens up. This plastic piece up here is your handle. It's plastic, it spins, it's not grippy at all. Down here is the end that's rubber. You can see it's kind of the roundest shape, and it will just reach over, and it just goes right like so underneath this lip, and it grabs the jar in and out of the canner. No burning yourself, and it's got great grip because it's rubber. So that's the lifter that I will be taking the jars out with when they are done. Okay, I've been at a full rolling boil for 5 minutes, maybe a little more, but anyhow, let me get it. Just reach in here with my canner like I showed you, pick it up, and then you just kind of tip the water off, and then I put it on my towel to cool. Okay, so you can see I put the jars out here. There's space in between each jar, that way there's airflow evenly around, and they can cool evenly, and then they'll be able to seal. So that's it to making applesauce, and it's about as healthy as it gets when you make your own applesauce.